let's get into the book reading. Let's get into the book reading, y'all. Let's get into the book reading. This is a good one. This is a classic. I got this on auction for like $35. This is like $100+ book. This is in my collection. I'm not selling it. Will not sell it. And I plan to read it whenever I have time. But obviously, when you're building businesses, you don't have a lot of time to read. But I'm excited to get to it when I do get to it. It's called Business Adventures by John Brooks. The copyright's 1969. And the publisher, Clark Irwin Company Limited, Toronto, Vancouver. There's been a few different years, but I have the 1969 copy. And Business Adventures is a collection of 12 essays written by John Brooks. The essays, all of which were previously published in the New Yorker, deal with financial and corporate life in the United States. This was Bill Gates' favorite book. He discovered it after Warren Buffett recommended it, and it remained as one of his top choices. I'm not necessarily a Bill Gates fan, but you know, when a billionaire, the creator of Microsoft and the person who has done a lot in the business world says this is his favorite book from Warren Buffett, one of my mentors. Well, not like a personal mentor, but you know, online mentor. I had to get this in my hand, so we're going to read a little bit of it, just a little bit to get us started. Chapter 1, The Fluctuation. Chapter 1, The Fluctuation, page 1. The Fluctuation. The stock market, the daytime adventure serial, the stock market, the daytime adventure serial of the well-to-do, would not be the stock market if it did not have its ups and downs. Any boardroom sitter with a taste for Wall Street lore has heard of the retort that J.P. Morgan the Elder is supposed to have made to a naive acquaintance who had ventured to ask the great man what the market was going to do. "It will fluctuate," replied Morgan dryly. And it has many other distinctive characteristics. Apart from the economic advantages and disadvantages of stock exchanges, the advantage that they provide a free flow of capital to finance industrial expansion, for instance, and the disadvantage is that they provide an all too convenient way for the unlucky, the imprudent, and the gullible to lose their money. Their development has created a whole pattern of social behavior, complete with customs, language, and predictable responses to given events. What is truly extraordinary is the speed with which this pattern emerged full-blown following the establishment in 1611 of the world's first important stock market exchange, a ruthless courtyard in Amsterdam, and the degree to which it persists, with variations, it is true, on the New York Stock Exchange in the 1960s. Present-day stock trading in the United States, a bewilderingly vast enterprise involving millions of miles of private telegraph wires, computers that can read and copy the Manhattan telephone directory in 3 minutes, and over 20 million stockholder participants, would seem to be a far cry from a handful of 17th century Dutchmen haggling in the rain. We've actually moved quite a far in the since then. I mean, this was in almost the 70s, 1969. We have online broker platforms now, commission-free trading. We're trading cryptocurrencies now. You could buy fractional shares, ETFs, options. So you can see the progress from 1600s in the Netherlands to the 1960s, 70s, where we're at with a lot of analog type of technology, right? The first stock exchange was inadvertently a laboratory in which new human reactions were revealed. By the same token, the New York Stock Exchange is also a sociological test tube, forever contributing to the human species' self-understanding. The behavior of the pioneering Dutch stock traders is arguably documented in a book entitled Confusion of Confusions, written by a plunger on the Amsterdam market named Joseph de la Vega. Originally published in 1688, I want this book. It was reprinted in English translation a few years ago by Harvard Business School. As for the behavior of present-day American investors and brokers, whose traits, like those of all stock traders, are exaggerated in times of crisis, it may be clearly revealed through a consideration of their activities during the last week of May 1962, a time when the stock market fluctuated in a startling way. On Monday, May 28th, the Dow Jones average of 30 leading industrial stocks, which had been computed every trading day since 1897, dropped 34.94 points, or more than it had dropped in any other day except October 28th, 2029, which was the start of the Great Depression. Black Monday, I believe, when the losses were 38.33 points. The volume of trading on May 28th was 9,350,000 shares, the seventh largest one-day turnover in stock exchange history. On Tuesday, May 29th, after an alarming morning, when most stocks sank far below their Monday afternoon closing prices, the market suddenly changed direction, charged upwards with astonishing vigor, and finished the day with a large, though not record-breaking, Dow Jones gain of 27 points. Tuesday's record or near record in trading volume, the 14 million shares that changed hands added up to the greatest one-day total ever for October 29, 1929. When trading ran just over 16 million shares later in the 60s, 10, 12, even 14 million share days became commonplace, which is normal with the growth of anything. The 1929 volume record was finally broken April 1st, 1968. Fresh records were set again and again in the next few months. Then on Thursday, May 31st, after a Wednesday holiday in observance of Memorial Day, the cycle was completed. On a volume of 10.7 million shares, the fifth greatest in history, the Dow Jones gained 9.4 points, leaving it slightly above the level where it had been before all the excitement began. So that's just a little taster of this book. Hopefully I can actually get to it and read it actually in the future. But for now, it's going to go back into my vault for my own collection, my own library. I'm a proponent of free speech and, allowing things not to be gatekept, no pun intended. But when I find financial books that I love and that I know that I hold value, I keep them for myself. You got to have fun in this game.